Jed, we're live.
Hello, we are live.
How are you?
I'm very good, very good. It's a great day. I'm doing well.
Sun is shining. I appreciate you coming
shining.
down. We've had a brief conversation, which I probably wouldn't want to capture, but we'll...
It's alright, we can go over it.
Yeah, we'll re-go over it. If you can just go into that camera for me and just explain to everyone who you are and what you do.
Okay, so I'm Ged Wesley. I'm a videographer. I'm 24 from Southampton. And yeah, I mainly shoot music videos, but I also do weddings and all sorts of other stuff. And yeah, I guess we'll dive into it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect introduction. So I'm relatively new onto the sort of like video scene.
Mhm.
And you're a name that was already sort of established, if you will, in the video sort of scene. Like, how long have you been doing video?
So, I mean, I've been making videos since I was, like, I don't know, like 10 years old. But I started off with, like, stop animation, like Lego stuff. And I used to do, like, fingerboarding. I used to do videos of that. And just anything I was interested in when I was a kid. And then I started to progress into, like, the free running and just took it more seriously with that. And then just started doing it for work, really.
So, from now... When was the time period that you started taking it seriously and decided you want to make money on it?
Probably like straight out of college. I didn't want to go uni. I was pretty confident on that. I just didn't like the idea of staying in education when I've been doing video for so long. I just kind of felt like I knew, not trying to sound big-headed, but I feel like I knew everything I needed to know to go straight into work. Even my tutor was telling me this. So I just thought, yeah, straight out of college when I was 18. I just sent it really, and I was doing part-time work to obviously pay the bills and just keep my car running and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, probably started to get into the position I was happy with by the time I was about 20.
Nice.
And then yeah, the last 4 years have just been rolling quite nicely. So
cool. So you say your tutor was supporting you. That's interesting because my tutor at college was just literally shoving uni down everyone's throats.
There was that one teacher that was like, do your UCAS, you got to go uni.
That's
even
it,
if you're
yeah.
not going, make sure you do your UCAS.
Yeah.
But I was like, I ain't doing this shit, man. I'm not going. There's no way. So I just left it.
I remember being sat in tutor because they were doing the exact same thing. Like, you need to do UCAS.
Yeah.
Irrelevant if you are going or not, because in a few years' time you might decide you want to go, then you don't have our help, which is a fair point. But I thought every single person in this class wants to go to uni, and I don't have a thing that I want to go to uni for. So how about try and like set yourself apart and go down a different route that isn't seemed like the norm? Because uni, it's ingrained in you from when you're at school.
Yeah, you're kind of told go school, go uni, get a job, get a wife, have a kid, settle down. And that's kind of like what you're told to do, and
Yeah.
it's like subconsciously, I think. But yeah, it just wasn't for me, man. I just wanted to go straight for work. And like I said, my tutor was saying that he could see that in me. And he knew that I didn't necessarily... I'm a little bit dyslexic, so when it comes to writing the essays and all that sort of stuff, I was just getting passes, and then I wasn't doing as well as I could, because all the like handheld stuff and all the actual filmmaking stuff I was doing really well. So it just made my grade like just some straight merit, and I was just like, well, I'm just going to go straight into work because I know I can do it.
Yeah.
And my tutor was just like supportive of it, luckily. But my other teachers, yeah, they were just like, do your UCAS, do you know what I mean?
Now that's really lucky to have that tutor, because...
Yeah.
In school, no, you don't really get the opportunity to see if you excel in a field like videography or just anything that is creative, if you get what I mean. Like, you get an art class or maybe like a media class or whatever, but everything is so heavily emphasised to be successful in like the core subjects like math, science, English, all that sort of stuff, when in reality they kind of apply to what you do now, but it's more the interactions you've had with teachers that you could arguably say is a better thing to carry over, because you're doing more client interactions, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, there's definitely elements of the other lessons which can carry over, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like in uni, what they would do is they would sort of recap everything in college and then do like work placement stuff, and you'd be on bigger sets. And I know that it can probably set you up with like nice companies or like BBC or wherever you want to go, but I know that I don't even want to do that. So there was just no chance of me going, really. And luckily he was supportive of it.
Did you ever do any research into uni courses that pertain to filmmaking?
I did when they started to talk about like applying and that, and I had a very brief look, and I looked at what unis there were and what they offered and stuff. But yeah, I mean, the most appealing side of it was probably the student life and the uni halls and going out. That seemed more appealing than actually sitting down and doing more work for 3 years and putting myself in debt.
Definitely.
But everyone's different. Some people see the big value in it, and I support that. If they want to go uni, I'm not going to have an issue with them, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, sure. I've got a lot of friends that I don't know if they'd admit this openly, but it definitely seems like they only went for the student lifestyle, and now those first year fresher vibes have killed off.
I'd love to know the actual percentage of how many people go to uni and study something and then go and do something completely different, because that's what majority of them do by the looks of it.
It's probably a big percentage.
Yeah,
probably a big percentage. I spoke to a couple of film students that did it at uni.
Okay.
It was just before, you know, when the Forley Tower got demolished. Remember?
Right. Yeah.
I went down there to get some drone footage. It was literally the day before, and I bumped into these guys with a camera just like pointing it at the chimney, and I was watching them for a bit, and they're there for like 10 minutes just pointing it at there with a mic on, like everything.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys doing?
Like a time lapse or something.
Well, they were actually making a documentary for Forley, whatever their motivations were, but they, like I said, they were film students, and I sort of asked, what do you feel like you've gained through uni that you couldn't have gained outside?
Yeah.
And their response was they had been taught how to understand what the video maker's intentions were when they made the video, instead of any sort of like skills on how to make the video. So to me, that it caught
the business side of it.
Well, not even the business side. It's more. Do you remember in English when they'd be like, they get a bit of text from like a book, and they'd be like, what did the author mean in this sentence? And then they start inferring such random shit like the grass is green. Oh, he said green because on this day he did this and he felt like, just, you know, like some bizarre stuff. That's kind of like what they were describing.
Identifying stuff and breaking it down.
Yeah, and for me, it sort of solidified my route, because I was like, okay, I think I made the right route here. Because the bit I like about filmmaking is that it's my own ideas that are going into this, instead of learning why other people did certain things and then possibly like bottlenecking my ideas because I think maybe I'd have to stay in the same parameters that this director did or this filmmaker.
Well, another element of it as well, I think, is that it seems to be in the industry that it's like you're an editor, you're a DOP filmer or whatever, you're a lighting guy, you're this, you're that. But I kind of liked doing everything like a one-man band. It's great to have a crew of me and doing things and stuff, and it makes the day go a lot smoother. But when I was starting out and I couldn't get the budgets to do that and I just had to learn it all, it was just, one-man band thing. And in uni, it's like, I feel like when you come out of it, you're either an editor or you're just a filmer or da-da-da-da-da-da. And I like all of it. I like the whole process. At the time, it kind of made me think, like, how do you even edit something when you haven't filmed it? Because I film clips in a certain way to be edited and connected in a certain way sometimes. So I understand it now because I've grown up or whatever. But at the time, I was like, that makes no sense to me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Is
that the end goal, to be able to outsource these different people to come in and do these areas, or do you want to always keep that one-man band to a certain extent?
I like to be able to do it. I just filmed a cypher with a few Southampton artists, and I just did that on myself, read it all, and then filmed it all, edited the whole thing. So it's good to be able to do that, and I'm quite happy that I've been able to learn the skills to sort of at least be able to manage it. But yeah, I would quite like to also have like bigger sets, bigger budgets, get a lighting guy in, get my mate Hector in, and just sort of make a nice video happen. But it's just finding the clients that have the budgets to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is that was that the recent shoot you did at JoJo's?
Yes, it was at JoJo's.
Who was that? There was Reese Brown.
So that was, I literally finished it today. It was Reese Brown, Milson, Forbes, Fats, and Triggs.
Did it go well?
It went very well, I think. Yeah, I'm very happy with the edit. So it should be out next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday they're dropping it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Did actually, I think that would probably be out before this is released. So go ahead and watch it.
Yeah, go ahead and watch it if that's the case.
How did you get approached for that? Was it one artist? Was it a manager?
So I've done videos for Reese, Triggs, and Forbes. I've done a few for Triggs, couple for Forbes, and only one for Reese. But Reese actually messaged me about it. I think he produced the beat and sort of mixed it all and stuff, which is quite sick. So it's literally pretty much all done in house within them, really, which I rate. But yeah, he just approached me. He said he wanted me to get me on the job, and I just said, yeah, let's make it happen. And then we just booked the studio, and then was there a look that they said they wanted to achieve with that, or is it all free reign to you? Not necessarily. They told me what ideas I had, and I said I'm probably going to do like an individual shot, because it's only one small room in JoJo's, annoyingly. But just one individual shot. Each one of them would have different colour lights behind them. I think we did red, blue, teal, orange and green, I think, and then like purple for like the group shots. And on the group shots, whoever was telling it was to step in, they just went in front, did their thing, step back, next person goes in. A sort of classical cypher shot, if you like. And then we did one more shot with the camera on the floor, pointing up, and they're all like leaning over, that sort of thing. That came out a lot better than I sort of hoped as well. So yeah, it tied in quite nicely. But they didn't necessarily say how they wanted it to look as such. I think they just trusted my style of editing and what I've done in the past, and just trusted me to do my thing. And they're quite happy with it, I think. So
no, brilliant. It's always nice when you work with a client that actually puts trust in you.
Yeah,
it feels like they've come to you for a reason instead of
they're
just
all
like
really great lads as well. They're all on their game. They all love making music and stuff. You can see when you work with all of them, you can definitely see that they're just doing it because they just like doing it. They don't necessarily trying to do it. Obviously, everyone's trying to get a bit of following with their music when they do it, but you can see that they're all just doing it because they love doing it regardless. Do you know what I mean? Which I think is a good bonus as well.
It's definitely the motivation that needs to be priority, isn't it? Really, if you're looking to be successful in something, because for me, it just allows you to get through those hard times a lot easier.
Yeah, 100%.
Like those hard times are normally when people that don't love it stop.
Yeah.
And they didn't reach their potential.
The gears slow down, and they just lose motivation.
Like the thing that they actually like doing more would probably come to the forefront, whether that's like going on your phone or going to see your mates. Like you're not actually building something for yourself.
Yeah, no, literally.
You mentioned that you're dyslexic.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like with the understanding of words, and so therefore using like bigger words in the essays and stuff like that, and using the correct terminology and all that sort of shit. I'm just not the best of it, so I'm just a hands-on guy in it. Really, that's just me.
Is that something that you knew through your childhood, or has it become apparent later on?
I found it out in school. So I found it out at a fairly decent time, I suppose. It was like year 8, year 9, I think I found out. But it hasn't really affected me too much. It just affected my grades in college, really. It just made them straight merits. I didn't really get distinction at level because, all the written stuff was just... Yeah, and they made I applied for TV and film BTEC, and only I think 3-4 people applied, and I think about 12 people applied for journalism, and so they just merged journalism with TV and film. So then I had to do all these articles and all this shit, and I was not happy about that. No, so that's why it got brought right back down. And there's loads of projects which TV and film would have done, which we didn't end up even doing because they were doing journalism.
That's a shame, to be fair. That's to me when. Because I did A levels, and then when I finished my A levels, I went and did a BTEC for a trade, and it wasn't until like I stepped back and sort of thought about my experiences at college that made me realise these people that are arranging these so-called courses that you need to suit you for the rest of your life, they're just the same as you, just trying to make something work. That in itself, like you would never think that those two courses should go together in a sense.
I can understand why they go together, but I don't think it should have been done because they are different. They're in the same.
They're different roles.
The same theme, but they're different things. But always,
like you'd never say to someone behind a camera, "I need to go write this article."
Yeah, it never happens. I'm never going to need any of them article writing skills in what I'm doing in today. So, but like I said, it is what it is. It's just one of them things you just got to deal with. But
let's take it back to the free running group.
The free running,
Was that something that just started randomly, or was it?
So I kind of found out about it as it was kind of growing in the UK, I guess. So like I said, I've been doing it. I think it's about 13 years, 12 or 13 years. I was in year 8, I think, when I started, and I was the only one in my school doing it, which didn't help. And I'm ginger, so secondary school wasn't the best. But I kind of got through that, and I kind of started going to like a gymnastics club where a few of some of my best friends now, I met them there, and then we just clicked, started to get along, and then we ended up making the group just as a fun thing, and then we started getting better, we took it more seriously, and then now it's like if I wasn't doing it now, I'd probably be depressed. Kind of like
really,
100%. I'd say it saved my life in a way because school was so shit at the time. And there was a lot of elements in my life which was just a bit stressful, and that was the one like getaway for me. I could kind of go to the gymnastics club or go out with my mates and just jump about, and I just forget about everything that was going on at home or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or like not at home but at school, and just everything in my head just went out the window. So, and that carried me through relationships, whatever. If I was just stressed, I'd just go out, jump around, even if I was on my own. You look like a weirdo when you jump around on your own as well, because you're wiping your shoes, and then you're kind of like running and stepping on a wall, and you're just like looking at it weird, and you just look like a fucking idiot. But Oh well, I would just go out and do my thing just because it would just make me forget all the shit really. So
it seems like one of those things that where you have to like hyper focus so much on make sure you don't fall. Like you can't really think about any other worries, can you?
Yeah, you got to obviously be quite focused, but then you say that. I mean, I'm a smoker, and there'll be times where I go out and I'll just be chilling with my mates all day, and we'll still be doing all of that after a smoke. But yeah, you still got to be quite. It's just knowing your limits, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of mental barriers, a lot of mental challenges. Say you're on a roof and you're looking at a gap. Obviously, your brain tells you I shouldn't be doing this, but you just have to have faith in your ability that you can. But people think, oh yeah, you're so reckless, you just jump off this. But we'll go down on the ground, we'll measure it from our feet. We know how far we can jump in our own feet. Or we'll go up on the other side of the roof, we'll check the surface, we'll make sure we're not going to go through it, we'll wipe it down if it's dusty. So we are actually fairly safe with it. But we just look like we're reckless and being idiots at the time, I think. But oh well.
Do you think that the mental fortitude that you've built through doing free running has helped you in these hard situations later on in life?
Without a doubt. Any free runner you speak to who's been doing it like as long as I have or as in depth as I have, they would definitely tell you that the life skills in terms of like mental challenges and overcoming things mentally, I've carried that into like everyday routine pretty much, and it definitely has helped with a lot of things.
I suppose that again would be a reason why it would help you if you're ever feeling in a mood or in a bad place.
Yeah, literally, I just kind of know how to switch my mind around, and I know how to just say you're like you're editing, for example, and you're jumping on your phone every 5 minutes, and you're just not getting into the edit. I think everyone has like editor's block, whatever. I think everyone gets it. There's certain things I'll do which will just change my tune, and I'll just be like, right, then I'm just gonna get into the game, and I'll just smash it out till 3 AM or whatever.
Share some wisdom. What are those things?
It's just like, I don't know. It's just like mental things. So you got to tell yourself, if I don't do this, the aftermath is going to be this. If I do it that way, it's going to end up going like this. And you kind of got to think about every variable. Think about what can go wrong if you miss that, or if you don't think about. I find if I don't think about every variable, then things are more likely to happen in a way that I don't want them to. Do you know what I mean? It's like like law of attraction.
Yeah.
A lot of that kind of element as well. Like if I'm on a roof, I'm like, am I going to make this? I'm going to tell myself I'm going to make it. Half the time I won't do anything if I don't think I'm going to make it, obviously. But yeah, it's just similar laws to law of attraction and all that sort of thing. Just telling yourself you know you can do it, and thinking about all the variables, making sure that you're safe, if you know what I mean. So if you do have a shitstorm, you've got a safety net kind of thing. Do you get what I mean? It's really hard to explain, but yeah.
Have you ever been on the edge of like, wow, shouldn't have done that? Like you've done something and it nearly goes tits up? What,
in terms of like free running? No, I wouldn't say so. There's been near misses, of course, but I don't think there's nothing I've done where I've been like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? I've been quite confident in everything I've done, and quite happy with everything that I've achieved in terms of all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's definitely been times where I've been like, really got to think about this, or it could go wrong, kind of thing. But yeah, you just have got to have a bit of faith in yourself, really know your limits, know your boundaries.
My hands are sweaty just like hearing you talk about this stuff, because it's like,
yeah,
it's crazy as well, because just seeing how my athletic ability has declined seriously in the last year or so, just because I haven't really trained that side of myself.
Yeah.
Like just jumping off something that is like a foot high was a real, like I did it the other day, right? We've got this little it's like this roller thing that flattens the ground.
Okay, yeah.
And for some reason I was like, I'm just gonna run and jump off that.
Okay, yeah.
I sprinted full speed at it, vaulted off it basically.
Yeah.
And when I hit the floor, I was like, fucking hell, there's something wrong here. Like I felt just like a dead weight.
Okay, yeah.
And I suppose if you take breaks from free running, is there like, do you have that sort of feeling as well?
Yeah, so where my filming's picked up, it's definitely a lot harder to go out and train, and as much. So I would be training like 3-4 times a week, even if it was maybe some days it was 10 hours straight, some days it would be just for 2 hours and I'd go home or whatever. But yeah, nowadays I'm probably training like one good training day, like just a day dedicated to jumping around, probably like one every fortnight, every 2 weeks, whatever. Whereas yeah, I'd like to be doing it a lot more really, but it's kind of just hard to get all the boys out. Like I said, it's really, you look like an idiot when you train on your own, so you kind of want to go out with at least 1 or 2 people. But now where all my mates are working and we're all busy, it's just hard to get a crowd out and jump about. It's quite difficult.
Managed to recently?
Yeah, obviously we went Portugal. That was quite mad.
Was that just for free run, or was it just like a lad's
literally dedicated to just go in and just train? And Portugal's got some crazy spots, like world-known spots. People go to Portugal to do go to a certain wall to do a certain thing.
Sick.
Yeah, it's quite mad. But
do you have like a dedicated Instagram for your free
yeah,
running?
so I got my main, which my filming, which is probably one you know about, and then I've got one that's literally just Ged Wesley, and I just post just everyday stuff and just free running stuff on there, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you like that to pick up? And I haven't seen.
That's actually got more followers than
my,
yeah, because it's my main account. It's the one I've had for like forever. It's got more followers than my actual filming one, but my filming one's slowly picking up.
No, nice. I'll have to come out with you and try something one day.
Yeah,
I used to be really into my rock climbing.
Oh, like bouldering and stuff.
Yeah, I used to love bouldering.
I love that shit, man.
You like bouldering?
I don't go often, but I do like doing it. It's a real good challenge. Really good like workout and like really
definitely, yeah. There's not really a feeling you can replicate when you're like halfway up a wall when your forearms are pumped.
Yeah, and it's like I gotta make it. Sort of thing.
And your fingers are slipping off that hold. You're there trying to shake it out this side. Now, have you been to Boulder Shack before?
I've been Boulder Shack. That's down Empress Road, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've been to the one. It's not really Lord's Hill. It kind of is.
I think I know which one. It's huge, isn't it?
It's quite a big building. Yeah, there's like an upstairs bit and there's a downstairs. Yeah, I've been there a few times more recently with my mate.
That was the recent one I went to. That was
nice
probably
there.
like a year and a half out of me ever like going on a climbing wall, and I went there, and it was the mental block was there for me. Like when I was younger,
it's quite hard to get over it sometimes, isn't it? Yeah,
I knew in my mind I'd be able to do this route, and I'd literally be like 3-4 holds away from the top.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm just gonna hop down. I don't know why, but that's
the bit you got to switch. You got to know you're not gonna hop down. You're absolutely fine. You're not fatiguing. You're calm. You just got to tell yourself a different story.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think back to when I used to properly climb, and I'd probably be at this point, and then like being psyched to go for a dyno move, like jump across to like this jug hold or whatever. But it's crazy when you don't exercise those mental abilities that it just fades so easy.
Yeah, that's one reason why I try and just train when I can, because I know if I don't train, then I'm going to be out of rhythm with kind of the whole mental barrier pushing sort of thing.
No, nice.
But, I have picked up skating, to be fair, in lockdown. Yeah, it's quite similar to free running in the sense of committing and like trying to because I tried skating before I tried free running, like when I was, I don't know, like fucking 10, and I just couldn't commit to landing back on the board. I found it so scary. I was like, how are people doing like a kickflip and like actually like committing to landing on it? But now I've got that whole mental barrier, and now I've actually picked it up and I can actually do stuff, and I'm committing to things, and I don't care about bailing because I know how to bail and I know how to break my fall.
I suppose the free running has gone over into the bail side for you, hasn't it? Because you know how to land on your feet.
Yeah, 100%. We're not cats, but we know if we're falling, we'll kind of know roughly how to like maneuver ourselves in the air to at least land safely, or how to break our fall properly without breaking anything.
What level of skateboarding are you at?
I mean, I've done.
I've
been close to a kickflip. I haven't landed a kickflip. I can ollie on demand. I can like do loads of stuff on the half pipe, and I can like pop shove it and 360 shove, big spins, all that sort of stuff. Isn't it? So I can cruise around quite comfortably. It's more like just it's doing something new and like learning all these new things and stuff, which has been quite refreshing, because in free running it's kind of I've progressed and it's taken a stop where I haven't been able to push myself. Whereas skating, where it's new, I'm just learning. So it's been quite refreshing, really. Nice. Yeah.
How did you like fund the start of your video career? Because it's not a cheap hobby to get into.
It's not a cheap hobby, man. So my GH4 I think cost me like 800 quid just the body at the time. It's a lot. It's like half the price now. But I think I was just saving and just Christmas money, birthday money, just trying to save up. Yeah, and sure. I worked at, I think I had my GH4. No, I didn't at that point. My first camera was a Canon 600D. It was like 300 quid or whatever at the time. And I think that was a birthday present. Okay. And then after that, I was using that. Then after that, when I wanted a new camera, that's when I was saving and birthday money, whatever. Got the GH4. I was really gassed of it at the time. And then, I held on to that for, I don't know, like 3-4 years I was using that. Maybe a bit more towards the end of that, I'd rent a Blackmagic or a Red or whatever with Hector, and we'd do a video. But it was, the GH4 did me wonders. But in terms of actually getting money for stuff, it's just like there's a lot of saving that goes on, or a few things I've got on finance. My 24-70mm lens, I got that on finance because I just needed it for a shoot, like ASAP, and I thought, fuck this, it was £27 a month or whatever. I just thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna get that. But my Blackmagic, I saved up for that, and then just brought it out, whatever.
Because I've had youngsters speak to me, like people that like family, friends. They always seem to be really intrigued by camera stuff. Like they want to get the drone out, they want to get the camera out, and even at a young age, they know that these bits of equipment are silly money.
Yeah.
So it's like I can see them putting like mental blocks already in the way of getting into something like that.
What, like off-putting because it's also expensive? Yeah, I mean that was always an element, but I didn't really think of that as too much of an issue because I was more focused on just trying to make good work. Like, yeah, I only had a GH4 at the time, but I would just, I mean, I learned how to, well, I feel like I learned how to color grade okay, and I would just try my hardest to try and find like decent LUTs that weren't like stupid spenny or that I could like, I mean, maybe illegally patch or something, do you know what I mean? But we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, it's just sort of trying to find tricks of the trade really and just sort of work your way through really. But I didn't really find pricing of stuff too off-putting. It just made it more of a challenge to try and get the money and achieve it. And then when you have achieved it, it's even more rewarding, I think. But
it is definitely. One thing that I've seen to have common ground with everyone that's been on so far is the first bit of money they've ever made changed their perception on what money kind of was.
Well, like the first job, like first paid job.
Not from like a 9-to-5 job. I mean your first job going solo.
Yeah, first like filming job. I don't know what that one was when I got paid for that, to be fair. I don't know what that would have been. I would have been happy with the money, obviously. So yeah, it's definitely a realization of, oh shit, I can actually do this for a living. Do you know what I mean? It was probably like, I think my first video for Forbes I did for free. It was called Whoa, and it was only a minute and a half. I just shouted him like, yo, I want to do a video, you don't have to pay me, I just need to get a music video under my belt, I like your music. So he's like, cool, I've got this tiny little tune, we'll make it happen. But I think probably the music video I did after that, like my first paid music video, that's probably when I was very, very kind of like, okay, this can work.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Because before that I was just doing like, I did I think I got like 60 quid for like doing a little video of like a car detailing like company that would like, you know, like sprays and like car cleaning stuff. And then I would do like another little video for I don't know, I think I did one for my dad. My dad plays harmonica. I did one for his band and they paid me like a little bit of cash, but that wasn't like a music video I would do now. Do you know what I mean? That was
sure.
That was quite cheesy. I haven't even posted that one. Nah. That's not going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? That's not no disrespect, but my name's not even on that one. That's just did that one as a favour.
Yeah, I've got a few like that.
The idea was just a bit wild.
Yeah, you got to go through those to be able to get to the point you want to be at, don't
100%.
you? What resources were you using to learn how to
learn?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Obviously, I started filming at like 10 or whatever, and I would just use like Windows Movie Maker on my mum's laptop. Do you know what I mean? And I'd have like a £30 little flip out camera from Argos or whatever. That was like when I was like making the shitty videos and stop motion and that. But it was I can't forget where I was going to go at that point now.
I found YouTube. I've just used
learning.
YouTube for everything.
YouTube tells you a lot, man. Like I think even Thomas said it in his podcast. Go to YouTube for everything, man, because you'll learn everything you need.
You will.
From ISO to grading to lighting to everything you need to know. It's all on YouTube.
It feels wrong to have it all there for free, doesn't it? Like
it does feel a little bit cheeky, but I feel like in this industry, a lot of people have my mentality, your mentality of not wanting to go to uni. They don't want to do that. And all these extra bits of info on how to do like tricks of the trade with lighting or whatever, people are going to need to know this. So everyone's just thought, fuck this, I'm going to make YouTube videos and I'm going to do tutorials on editing, on this, on that and that. And then it's just helped out all them people that are just trying to get the ball rolling, really, including myself. So,
lovely. Do you have like a mentor in your video?
Just like someone I look up to, like
someone you could say look up to. You didn't have to look up to them, but someone that has guided you in like down the route that you're on now. Seems to be a common theme with the people.
I'd say it's kind of changed over time. I think when I was in college, my tutor was quite. He understood, like I said earlier, he understood that I didn't want to go uni. He understood what path I wanted to do, and he was quite helpful and quite motivating in that sense. Even though I didn't actually see any videos that he'd produced.
Oh, so he actually produced videos himself?
No, I hadn't seen any videos that he'd produced. He was obviously
our tutor?
He was just our teacher at college or whatever, but he never actually showed us anything that he'd made. But I would just listen to him and understand his knowledge or whatever, and sometimes I'd actually show him things that I would do in shortcuts I'd know. But he was a motivational person at that point. Now it's more so people that I work with, like my mate Hector. He's on it, man. He's definitely like he knows all his shit. He's very like on the ball, and I take inspiration from him, or like just chatting to people that we work with. Our lighting guy Bo, take inspiration from him. Just people that I work with, and I kind of just sort of try to listen to them, and do you know what I mean, and kind of understand their outlook on the work, on the job or whatever, and kind of try and see things how other people see it, and understand their kind of point of view, if you like, on a situation. But
have you been working with Hector for a while?
We've done a lot of work together. Yeah, I'd say, I don't know, COVID's really messed my my judgment of years up. I don't know if it has for everyone else, but I'm like, fuck, is that like 2020 or what? But yeah, I've probably been working with him since like half a year or a year or so before COVID. But I knew him beforehand anyway, because he does free running, and he was like the videographer editor for his free running group.
Nice.
I was a videographer editor for my free running group, and we'd hang out and that. We'd go up to Guildford or whatever.
Nice.
And we'd just chill and.
So it was more of a mutual relationship rather you seeking
we
his expertise.
we were kind of friends a little bit before we started working together, and then we just started working together, and now he actually moved to Southampton now. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's actually living down here. So I see him quite a bit, and yeah, we make shit happen, man. It's good.
Nah, it looks like you make shit happen. Like, you were recently doing stuff for Trapstar, on it?
Yeah, I did some stuff for Trapstar, on the K-Trap Blade Brown drop. We did that. Hector just went to Milan as well, to be fair, to do some stuff with Trapstar. But yeah, we're making moves, man. We're making moves. We're taking over.
And were you away for FPV stuff as well?
I wasn't away I did an FPV job on the Top Gear test track not long ago.
Right, yeah, that's what I saw.
That was probably one of my favourite jobs to date. Yeah, I got to drive my Polo around the track.
Nice.
I was loving it, mate. Fucking around the chicane and that.
Yeah,
do you know what
nice.
I mean? But that was a wild job, man. It was just fucking windy.
Was it?
I don't know if I can swear or not. Sorry,
yeah, no, swear, whatever. Say what you want.
Yeah, it was like 27 mile an hour winds.
Really?
And I'm sat in my chair, my FPV drone, and my coat's just like that, blowing in the wind. And I'm just like, Hector, fucking hell, this is wild. And luckily the drone wasn't getting pushed around too much. I think I'd said to my mates, it's like comparing a DJI and an FPV is comparing a Polo racing a Ferrari. Do you know what I mean? The amount of power and torque it has, and how small it is, it just cuts through the wind.
It, yeah.
Which I was very surprised how it performed on that day. I thought it was still going to get blown about, but it was actually absolutely fine. So
yeah, nice. Was FPV something you got in just because you like the look of it, or was it like a business standpoint, like you want to expand the services?
Nah, not business related. Well, it's a little bit business because I know I can make money from it, and I know people make fucking money from it as well when they're good. So I know people that make like 8 bills just for one day, just working, and they don't even edit. They just turn up, film for 2 hours, 800 quid done. But yeah, it's like I just got into it because I like drones. I've always been into drones. Always had like a DJI or whatever. And I just think FPV looks fucking insane, and it's just the shots you can get, and just the fun you have with it as well, and just going out and doing a freestyle flight. It's just quite enjoyable, quite a surreal sort of hobby, if you like. But yeah, it's good to bring it into work and all that sort of side of things. But people are really getting onto it now. People know. I feel like people who were like producers who manage for labeled artists and stuff, I feel like they're all starting to know about FPV now. They're actually getting brought into proper jobs and shit, which is good. But it's also kind of peak because people are now fucking putting red cameras on top of an FPV and Black Magics and that. And I'm not putting my Black Magic on my FPV just yet. I'm still sticking with my GoPro. So it's quite hard to now match people's quality in camera. But I just have to learn to be a good pilot basically, and then just kind of equal it out that way. And also the rigs to put Black Magic on are like £1,000 drones or whatever.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
It's long, man.
It's like
it's all money.
Anything to do with camera. Look, if you really like your money and you like seeing it at the bank, don't do anything in camera.
Yeah.
Like when I bought the camera that Ged's been filmed on, I had to prepare myself for what came afterwards, because to get that camera running like you want it to run, you need an SD card that costs like 400 quid.
No,
like
it's never just the camera.
It's never just the camera. Obviously, the lens, like you just said, you finance your lens.
Yeah. The
lens on that again, like it's probably a third of the camera itself, and then if you want to rig it out to be a bit comfortable, that's probably like another 200-400 quid.
Literally. It all adds up, man.
It does all add up. It's easy to get that bill looking a bit disgusting.
Yeah.
Like for anyone out there that's looking to get into camera stuff, there's a website called eInfinity. Have you heard of that website?
I haven't. Tell me about it.
E-Infinity. I buy all my camera gear off E-Infinity.
Is it good prices? Yeah.
It's cheaper than everywhere. Like
Mad.
the A7S
Do
III.
you have a shit show with deliveries and that, or is it alright?
Delivery, I know that they're not going to be as quick as someone like Wex. They normally take like 2 weeks.
Okay, it's not
but
that bad.
They give you the tracking. They give you. They take pictures of everything that when they package it up. They send it to you like, okay, it's ready to go out. So if you can deal with the longer delivery time, it's banging. Because like the A7S III, I think they were going for like between 3,400 to like $4,000 at one point.
Okay, yeah.
And they were sold out everywhere. And I picked that for like just under $3,000. And then the lens, I think that again was like they go for like $1,000 now. And I got that for 700 quid.
Which lens is this?
That's the Sigma 24-70.
Oh, okay, nice.
So it's allowed me. I even bought this camera as well. This was, I think they were going for like 1,400, and I got it for like 900 quid.
Yeah, that's calm.
It's like I don't get how they do it, but it turns
They're
up
making
and it works
somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So where is the next step for Ged Wesley, as in
the
film?
next step. I don't know. Like, I'm quite happy with how things are flowing at the moment. Obviously, I think this industry is quite annoying in terms of 1 month you might be fucking flat out, and then the next month it's just going to be really quiet. And then I think that's just this industry though, unfortunately. But it's going at a steady pace. I'm quite happy with where things are now. I think in a year's time or whatever, I'd like to be doing more stuff like promotional stuff, festivals, that kind of thing. Because I actually kind of prefer that more to music videos. I know how to do music videos. I enjoy them as long as I like the music and the artist and stuff. But yeah, I actually much prefer doing like product stuff. I want to get into like food videography and.
Oh, nice.
Do you know like a YouTuber, Daniel Schiffer?
No, I don't.
Oh, you should check him out, man. And he does like really crazy B-roll sequences, like in-camera transitions, flipping it round, and then like obviously the next shot you flip in, so you edit that in post or whatever. Or say you've got like an apple rolling along here, you would like spin with the apple and then you'd like twist it in. Do you know what I mean? And like wipe transitions, all that sort of in-camera stuff for like product or food advertisement videography. That's what I want to kind of try and dive into, because I just think you can be really creative with it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can do those things in a music video, but half the time the artists just want girls, cars, nice locations, nice lighting, maybe a dogs or whatever as well, and just it can get kind of samey. But yeah, I just like doing all the advertisement stuff. A lot more. It's different. It's a lot more different every day kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
There is like a stigma with music videos nowadays. Are you in the? There's like this big videographer group on Facebook. It's got like an orange profile picture on it.
I don't know. I don't use Facebook much.
Fair enough. Well, I'm in there, and literally you'll get a videographer put a music video in, and they're like, "What do you think?" And everyone in the comments just roast them like, "Yeah, same as every other music video."
Yeah, there you go, man.
Which is fair enough. Like everyone wants to, like, they probably wanted to do the video because they think the ones they've seen that look like that look pretty cool. And yeah, fair play if you want to carry on with that. But sometimes it's nice when an artist wants to set themselves apart a bit.
Yeah, 100%. I would like to do, saying about that with music videos, I would like to do a drill music video because I've only assisted Hector with drones and stuff like that on his drill ones. I haven't actually done a drill. I've done like grime and obviously all that sort of hip hop and that in Southampton, but I would like to do a drill music video in Southampton just because I think I'd make it pretty wild.
Nice.
So any of you drillers out there that want a music video, shout me. I'll make a movie, man. But yeah, that's something I would like to do. Just sort of actually fully direct it myself. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, other than that, I want to do the advertisement stuff. Really like that Top Gear thing we did.
Yeah, what was that for?
Was sick. So it wasn't actually for Top Gear, but it was for a racing team called Team Brit, which they're like disabled drivers. So
nice.
You know, like F1 drive, and they change gear with buttons and that on the wheel. They race like that. And they basically have a warehouse in the industrial estate where the track is, and we were basically filming for a crypto coin which sponsors the racing team. Does that make sense? Yeah. And they were using the Top Gear track, so that's how we got that opportunity. But yeah, I think we're gonna do more work with them soon. I think so.
That's my goal. That's my. I love like Formula One. I love my racing. If I could go back in time and focus efforts on something, it'd probably be to be a racing driver. Yeah,
anything cars, I'm all over it again. Anything to do with cars, I'm there, man.
Yeah, nice. And the videos I've seen at racetracks and stuff like that, when you actually look into in the bio of the videographer, none of them have really been brought on by the actual race team themselves. It's always like a sponsor on the car.
Yeah, it will be someone from the team knows a videographer.
Yeah.
Be brought on like that. So we literally got brought in. But weird coincidence, I got a friend called Afsal, and it was his brother who works at the crypto coin that brought us in on the job, and we found out afterwards it was his brother, which is a bit of a mad coincidence. But yeah, he just works for the crypto coin firm, and then the team Brit, the actual racing team, had no idea who we are. Do you know what I mean? We just turned up on the day, filmed, they were happy with it, they liked us, so hopefully now we've got them as a client as well directly. Brilliant. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. It's not going to jinx
That's a
nothing.
bit of advice for someone that wants to do something, but the initial route into it doesn't seem feasible. Like
yeah. Literally, it's like sometimes these opportunities pop up in the most randomest ways you could ever imagine, or like there's been times where I've like commented on someone's post and thought nothing of it because I actually liked the video or whatever. 2 weeks later, I've got a notification from them. They've messaged me, or do you know what I mean? So like some things like that just work in wild ways, and I've told like my photography mates or whatever. Just like engage with people's posts sometimes, or just share the odd thing and just show that you rate what they're doing or you support what they're doing, and then before you know it, they'll probably pop up to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's a community, isn't it?
Yeah, loads of different methods of trying to just subtly get work or whatever. Or sometimes, like I said, I'm not even doing it intentionally. I just end up getting a message from them.
Your socials, do you focus on trying to grow them, or is it just literally you just post what you like?
I don't focus on like pushing posts and stuff. I'll focus on like posting it at an alright time of the day or like certain days of the week. I'll go like that far with it, but I don't do much social media marketing. I've got a mate who does that, so I've considered asking him to like share some stuff and do me a good price on doing things like that. But I'm probably gonna do that more with my FPV stuff when I have a good amount of content. I'm just going to put like running ads of FPV stuff and just try get good quick work with that, because like I said, that's like no edit. I love jobs where you just turn up, film, no editing. I love editing, but when you get a job where it's turn up, film, no edit, it's always good because you just go home and that's it, you're done. Ain't got to think about it no more. Yeah,
so. I'm definitely of that ilk. If I can get to a point where, that's why I want to build a production company to a state, because I want to be able to trust someone to do the edit.
To do your editing, yeah.
I prefer.
You're not a fan of editing.
I don't like. I like it. I really love watching the end product. And
don't we all? Yeah.
Yeah. But when I like getting into the mood of it, that's the hardest thing for me.
Yeah, getting the gears running, getting the flow.
Once I'm flowing, like each thing I do, I'm like yes. Yeah. But to get to that state, there's a lot. It seems like I have to put a lot of effort into it.
I hate organising my rushes. That's what I hate doing, man. Just sitting there and just getting all your best clips. A tedious job, man. But once you've done that and you can start actually, putting it together and puzzling the pieces, and that, it just gets a lot more interesting.
Yeah, you definitely have to find your workflow, because I remember the first video I edited was a strongman video. Was it strongman video? Yeah, strongman video. And I thought, I'm gonna do this real systematically. Put all the clips into Premiere. Okay. I went through every single clip and I named every single clip. Yeah, nice. And I put all those clips into a subfolder, which was like either like close-up shots or slow-mo, or like the different however I wanted to organise it. And it was like, obviously first shoot I overshot, so to organise everything, nothing wrong with it.
Never nothing wrong with that though.
No, you'd rather have more than less.
Yeah.
But after that first sort of admin period, I thought I need to sort of streamline this, because it took me like hours just to get through everything.
To get through it, yeah. Sometimes you are like, fuck man, I filmed way too much. But you got to kind of just tell yourself, no, it's a good thing, because that'll be guarantee I'll have a banging video by the end of it. Do you know what I mean? That's sort of what I would tell myself in that situation.
What tips can you give me?
What, for editing?
Just in general.
In general, be more easy to think of a tip if it was a bit more selected. Like,
all right, for editing then, how do you like? You got home, SD card in the computer.
Yeah, so I plug my SD or my SSD in or whatever, and I would first of all, in my documents, I try to be organised as I can in my documents, because I feel like it goes a long way. So in my documents, I'll name each scene as a folder and put all the clips from that scene in each folder, and then I'll import them folder at a time, so the folder's already named, and that when I import it into Premiere and they're just all folded and it's all organised. That'd be like my first step. Then you would do proxies or whatever. And if I decide to do them, I don't always do proxies. Sometimes I can't be bothered, or I ain't got the time for it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna crack on and hope that I get no render issues.
Yeah.
But then I'd lay everything out on the timeline, and I would
every clip on the timeline.
Yeah, so I have different sequences. I have a sequence. If it's a music video, for example, I'll have a sequence for reels or promo. Then I have a sequence for footage, and then I have a sequence for the video. And I would have I'd like bring down all the shots from one scene into the timeline. Then I'd leave a gap, and I'd have the next scene or whatever. And I would do it like that, and I would just go through all of it, get all my rushes, organise the whole thing, and then I would jump into the video and just start puzzling it together. That's kind of how I structure my stuff.
When you say rushes, I've never heard the word rushes.
Oh, have you not? It's just like just choosing the best clips.
Okay.
Out of say you got a performance take, and you say it's on your timeline, and you're going through, and you're like, yeah, like that bit, slide it on top. Like that bit, slide that on top.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like that, slide that on top, and then then you would just copy whatever. And then when you go through it, you can see, all the bits that you like because you've identified it all. So then you think, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember on that bar I had a really good shot there. So then you go, boom, that scene, yep, got the clip, bang, you put it in. And I feel like when I do the rushes and that properly, it definitely helps my workflow of the music video just go through a lot faster.
Definitely.
It's just tedious as fuck doing it at the start.
You definitely pay dividends from doing that sort of stuff. Like I do a similar sort of thing where in my timeline, I designate, like, how you divide it up scene by scene?
Yeah.
When I'm working on a scene, I then, like you say, you drag it above. I'll drag it next to it, like a gap, but next to it. And then I'll fuck around with that little bit.
Right.
And then that slots back into the video. And then I link that back up with the previous bit. It's weird. I have different styles for like different moods. I mean, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
it definitely depends on the video. If I'm doing like a quick Instagram video or whatever, then I wouldn't probably structure it quite like that because it's not different scenes and stuff.
Sure.
9 times out of 10 you filmed it all in order anyway, so I would just have my footage sequence, put it all in there, and I would just go through it all joint together, and then I would just take all my rushes or whatever and put them into the project. So
do you color grade once you've selected your
I color grade right at the end.
Right at the end,
at the end, yeah, because well, I do it before I add film burns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I would still do it after like glitch effects and stuff like that because the colors on them aren't going to get affected too much by the LUT, because obviously the LUT is just on the clip,
so
not on your overlays.
Do you apply your LUT directly on the clip, or do you use adjustment layers to grade?
So I do it on the clip, but because I film Blackmagic RAW. So when when you're on Premiere and you have like the little effects control tab above the timeline, when you have a Blackmagic, there's this thing next to effects called source.
Okay.
So you can actually, when you film Blackmagic RAW, you can change the ISO in Premiere after you filmed, which, oh my god, is a lifesaver sometimes. So I would go onto source and I would change my ISO if I need to, or my saturation, contrast, whatever, and do like a light grade with that, and then I would do Lumetri color on top of that as well, and then that would just be on the clip.
Right. Okay.
And what's good about that as well, like how you've cut clips up, and they say you're going for your music video and you've graded that clip, instead of copying and pasting because you need the same LUT, it doesn't matter, it will still be the same grade because
it's the source.
You've done it on the source of the clip. So say you've edited the whole music video, this Cypher for example, edited the whole music video. Then I went back to my footage sequence, and then I just went on each shot and just graded it. And then when I went back to my music video sequence, it was all graded. Do you see what I mean? So that element with the Blackmagic is a very, very good.
I wouldn't expect them to put, like, is that a Premiere feature or is that just
a Premiere feature? Yeah, it's just when you shoot RAW, you just get that option. So if I shot Blackmagic 4K or 6K and it wasn't RAW, then that wouldn't happen. It only does it when you shoot RAW. So red cameras, it will happen with Arri Alexas, all that sort of stuff. You'll be able to do that with as well.
Yeah, because it's not, you can't really, like, they say it's like a RAW type of file, at least for my Sony, but it's not an actual RAW file, I don't think.
Yeah, well, like I said, RAW, you'll probably be able to edit those features in post. Like Vlog and stuff, and Cine Vlog, all those sort of things. They're like it's like a washed out film, isn't it? So you can grade it a bit better.
You've got
words out a
more
bit
versatility with it.
Yeah.
You can do a bit more with it.
You can push it a bit more, but yeah, raw. You're just not gonna get any like banding and stuff unless you're being crazy with the color grade. But if I really wanted like a real sick job done on a color grade, I would just send it off to someone if I needed it to be 10.
Yeah,
I haven't had to do that, but
yeah,
I have someone to do that if I needed to.
I've heard a little story, and I don't know if it's true. It's called B-Raw, isn't it, on Blackmagic?
B-Raw, yeah.
B-Raw.
Blackmagic Raw.
And I've heard like other cameras have their own type of like raw name.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know.
It's because Red Trade, they either patented. I think they patented like raw files.
Red Raw, yeah.
So
that's mad. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why. So like on my camera,
how did they even do that?
I don't know, because on my camera, yeah, you
Money.
can. Yeah, on my camera, if you get a Atmos Ninja or above, you can externally record in ProRes RAW, but internally you can't, and that is apparently because Red patented internal RAW recordings.
Right. Okay.
So
that's why they have to make their own version of RAW.
Yeah, or
because the B-Raw isn't like it's raw footage, but it's not like full on raw. Like there's limits with it still. Like in terms of like, say you filmed at a certain ISO, you can change it. You can still change it quite a wide variety, but only a certain amount each way. So say you filmed it at 2000 ISO. I can't remember what it is. You can bring it down to or push to, but you can't go all the way. It's only like a certain area. But I think Red cameras, you'll be able to just change it to whatever.
It's crazy. I never knew that, because I've seen the source tab, but I've never clicked into it. So maybe I've got something like that.
Yeah, I mean maybe this shoot raw.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it does.
Does it say it shoots raw?
Yeah. So it gives me the option for a raw file, but then I don't think it's actually a legit raw file.
It might just be their version. It might just be a really light version of raw. Yeah. So I'd say, just film a random clip, film the beautiful field outside.
Yeah, there you go.
And then just bring it into Premiere, click source, and you might have that option, or you might have similar options. I can even change, like, I can switch the LUT on and off, because I can, on the Blackmagic, you can turn the LUT on and off in camera.
Yeah, sure.
So you can be filming, you can see it as like vlog, like washed out, and then you can just apply Blackmagic LUT or a different LUT that you've installed on the camera, so you can already see what your base layer LUT will look like before you even go into Premiere.
Sure.
Which is very, very handy.
Yeah, I bet. I've got that option on the monitor. I can apply LUTs on the monitor. The thing with at least Sony's, on both my cameras, I've seen this. If you've got someone that is like of Asian descent, not like from anywhere like India, but more sort of like a China or a Japanese skin tone, they go almost like a really weird colour on the camera.
It's quite hard to get the skin tone right.
Yeah, so that's why I've sort of refrained from using my LUTs on there, because I'm like, I want to get it right before I've applied a LUT, rather than base it on the LUT in my camera.
No, I get you.
It's I don't know if have you experienced that of yours? Because have you done anything like an Asian wedding or anything like that?
I have not. No,
I did an Asian wedding.
Say I have the experience of it.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know whether it's a Sony trait or that's just a common.
Maybe I'd say Sony's a fucking banging cameras though.
They are,
They're king of low light, really, aren't they?
Oh, mate.
In my eyes, anyway. I've never owned one. I say all this shit. I've never owned one, but
it's literally like turning a light on.
Yeah, I've heard they can always see better in the dark than us, for God's sake.
Yeah. Oh, mate, 100%. So, does the Blackmagic, does that have dual native ISO?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
What is do you know your native ISOs on that?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Have a little
should know.
So on here,
shit, man.
The first native ISO is 640, which is what we're on now. Which, when it's sunny, it's a bit peak because you need to either whack an ND filter on or put the f-stop up stupid.
Yeah.
But then the second native ISO is actually 12,600 or 12,800.
Okay.
Like you would never dream of putting a camera to 12,800, would you really?
Nah.
But
that's quite high though.
I can whack it on 12,800.
I mean, if you got lighting, you're never gonna need that anyway. But
exactly.
Yeah.
But
it's nice to have the option just in case.
It is banging for like club stuff, that sort of thing, because it's it literally turns things to daylight. What have you found?
I'm just trying to find it. Dual native ISO up to 25,600.
25,600.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So it's still pretty good.
That's 25,000. Did you say?
No. Yeah, 25,600.
Is that the native though? When I mean native, I like.
Yes, that's dual native ISO up to 25,600.
Fucking hell. That's
But
mental.
I've never pushed it that high. I don't think I've pushed it over like 2,000, 2,500. I think it's the highest I've gone on it.
Because with this camera, right, I've noticed, and on the reviews as well, the stops higher in ISO, you see some real deterioration in the footage. And then when you go...
Yeah, that will happen, yeah.
But then you go to 12.8, and it's literally like you're back on 640. There's no
really?
quality drop.
Oh, that's because it's your second dual native, isn't it? So obviously your native ISO is the best one to be on.
Exactly, yeah. Brings out the most colours. That was something that I didn't actually realise until like 6 months into doing videos, because I didn't even realise what this one was until like I got that one, because that one made me realise there's like dual native.
Okay,
the native ISO is an important thing, and this is like 500
feature.
or something.
I think the new DJI drone has dual native ISO.
Is it?
Yeah, the Mini 3 Pro or whatever.
Are you getting that?
Nah, I'm not getting it. I want the Mavic 2 Pro. I need 10-bit, man. I can't deal with 8-bit anymore, and I think the new one has 8-bit. Weirdly enough, even though they got all these sick features like dual native ISO and all this shit.
The portrait mode,
even goes portrait, but they're still fucking 8-bit, man.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it if it's 8-bit because it just looks too digital. Especially when now I've got the Black Magic. If I try and match it, it's just a myth. I can't do it. I need the Mavic 2 Pro.
Have you looked at the Air 2S?
That's not 10-bit.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was trying to look into it.
Have a Google, because I bought that on the basis it being 10-bit.
Right, okay.
So I'm hoping I'm not wrong.
I was trying to find out, and I thought it was 8-bit.
I'm hoping I'm not wrong. I think the Air 2's 8-bit, but the Air 2S...
Oh, maybe that's what I was looking at, the Air 2. Yeah, because it needs to be 10-bit. Now I've got a Black Magic. It has to be 10-bit. DJI 1-inch sensor, 5.4K 10-bit. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, nice, mate.
How much does it weigh? You know.
No, why is that?
It's quite small though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I've got it here somewhere.
Yeah. I'm more thinking about, is this handle alright in the wind? Because that's all I worry about is just wind, really.
Mate, this is like... The first day I took it out, I was with some mates, so we went down... Do you know Warsash?
Yeah.
You know the stony beach down there?
Yeah.
I took it out, and I probably shouldn't have flown it, because it was like... You know when you can hear the wind in your own ears?
Yeah.
And here's for everyone, this is the Air 2S. Mate, it handled itself like a dream.
Okay, I've heard these newer ones handle in the wind a lot better, even though they're tiny. I've heard they handle a lot better.
I was looking at getting the 2 Pro, and I was looking at getting the 2 Pro, and basically like the Hasselblad sensor was just like in my head the whole time. Probably before I even realised what the difference would be from a Hasselblad sensor. Yeah. And watching the comparisons between the Air 2S and the Mavic 2 Pro,
it's got sensors all around it, isn't it?
It's got the only thing it hasn't got is side-facing sensors, which the 2 Pro has. So if you were doing like the follow feature,
I'm not gonna crash anyway.
Nah, there you go. if you're using the follow feature, the 2 Pro would probably be superior on that.
Okay, yeah.
But video-wise, I think the comparison is negligible. The only downfall to this is that it is a fixed f-stop.
Oh, is it?
Whereas the 2 Pro has adjustable.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I had with it.
See, I'm probably gonna get the 2 after I know that.
Yeah, no.
But these are still like, if this is 10-bit, that's still mad. Look how fucking small it is, bro.
Yeah, it's
a 10-bit
tiny.
drone, that's crazy. And if it handles quite well in the wind, then.
And that's got the 1-inch. It's got a 1-inch sensor as well. So I mean,
yeah.
Unless you start going stupid, like with the new Mavic 3 or whatever.
No, that's too expensive, man.
It's like
that's way too expensive, that thing.
You know, normally when they release a new product, it's within the price range of the older one.
Yeah.
Well, they're just like, fuck this.
I think with this, though, they were really trying to just aim it for people who are like serious about their drones. Do you know what I mean? Fats has got one though.
Has he?
Yeah, he's got one. I think we're hopefully doing a video. I ain't gonna jinx nothing, but we're doing a video out of the UK maybe. And,
nice.
Yeah, that should be pretty well.
He's in France at the moment, isn't
he? Yeah, he is. Yeah,
what's that for?
He's doing I don't know who he's doing. He's doing a music video. I don't know who the other artist was. I think his Instagram's like S Wavy or something. I think he's worked with him before. I think it's the same guy. Is it the same guy that, you know that video he did with the fucking big cuddly toy joint thing?
Oh, I've seen pictures.
Yeah. That I think it's the same artist as that he's doing it with, but I might be wrong. But yeah, he's out there making some moves.
Nah, nice. Have you held a Mavic 3 in your hand yet?
Mavic 3? Nah.
You haven't?
Nah.
Mate, they're crazy.
Is it quite big?
They're big. They've got one in PC World. I just saw. I walked past it. I was like, I need to have a look at that. And it's like, it's not like, you know, the Mavic 2. You can see I came from the Mavic 1.
Yeah.
This one is like,
okay.
It's no comparison. I really want that Mavic 3, but like you said, the 8-bit is peak.
Yeah.
Because I've seen shots people doing where they've angled the camera up through that little notch.
Okay, yeah.
So you're doing drone shots, but looking up, and they look mint, mate.
Yeah,
they look
I imagine
outstanding.
That's quite sick. And like probably doing a shot like that. Do you know what I mean? Going from low, pointing up, and then going like that. That would probably look quite wild with a drone.
Like, I always use my drone in videos to sort of replace like a crane shot.
Yeah.
And that's like taking it to the next level, isn't it? Really,
yeah.
with that sort of camera.
Yeah, no, I mean, the drone I had was a Phantom 4, so that seems tiny because the Phantom 4 was like fucking like this. Do you know what I mean? Never had any issues in the wind ever, apart from once in London. That was crazy. I was filming. We were by the Tate Modern building, right, by the Millennium Bridge and that, and so I send the drone up in the air, and we were literally just filming like a convoy of cars, basically about 4 or 5 cars driving up and down the road. A lot of high buildings for me. It was night, it was dark. A lot of high buildings for me to be kind of wary of. And I shoot the drone straight up in the air, and it's dark, and I'm changing my ISO, and I'm fiddling around with it, and I'm getting it ready, and I can see it. It's in line of sight or whatever. And then while I'm fiddling, I look down, and I'm fiddling with the ISO, and then when I look at where it actually is, and I look up, and it's not in the sky, and I'm like, where the fuck is this drone gone? And it's like the wind had pushed it so much it had gone like over the water by the actual Millennium Bridge. And I was like, fucking hell. And I hadn't even touched move at all. And I was just fiddling with the lighting settings on it. And so I flew it back. And it was so windy. I actually found to fly it in the direction I want. Let's just say it was straight. It was actually kind of like right, like towards the right a bit. I had to like direct the drone in a different way to what I wanted it to go for it to fly in the direction. The wind was so heavy. So I'm trying to fly this way, for example. The wind's going that way. So I had to like fly it that way to be able to keep it to go straight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was I was so stressful. It was the most stressful drone job I've ever had.
You got it back all right though?
Yeah, I landed it and she's all safe. I've sold that drone now, but yeah, it was that was stressful, man.
Did you not have any sort of like feds pull up when you were flying a drone in London near the Millennium Bridge?
Obviously there's that risk. Yeah, I was literally right outside Tate Modern. Do you know what I mean? And Millennium Bridge is just around the corner.
Yeah.
And we were just quick about it. Do you know what I mean? I have my license in that, so it would be fine theoretically. But
I'm not sure about London.
Yeah, I think legally you're allowed to. I think it does say, "Have you got permission to fly here?" And you're like, "Yep, of course I have." But I think if you've got your A2, I think you are actually well, I think last year it's changed now in it a bit, but you are actually eligible to to fly the drone wherever you want. If it's just for personal use.
Sure.
And obviously you have to stay 50 meters away from uninvolved people, all that bullshit.
So it comes down with your A2, doesn't it? From the 150 mark.
So if I got pulled over, why do I keep pulled over? Why do I act like I'm driving? If I got stopped by the Fed, then I would just have to say that I'm not getting paid for the job, basically. Yeah. And then it wouldn't be an issue because I'm flying recreationally for my own
commercially.
use. I'm an A2 licensed pilot and I'm staying the correct meters away from uninvolved people and I'm being as safe as I can.
Yeah, nice.
So that's kind of how you have to introduce it if you do get sold off by the pigs. But yeah.
Top tip. You know Jacob?
Yeah.
Jacob told me a story about Liam.
Liam Moore, LG.
Yeah, LG. Apparently he flew his drone in London. I don't know if you've heard this. And he just took it up, brought it back down. Like, it wasn't actually getting like loads of footage with it. Like a really short flight. And packed it up, started driving away, and he got pulled over by the police.
Really?
And they actually took they asked for his SD card and everything.
Shit, this is why you have a spare SD card. I've learned this from doing climbs or whatever. If you go up on a roof and feds are coming, you just dash that SD card in your pocket on your waistline. You put a new one in there, and when they ask you for it, there you go, take it. Mate.
Oh mate, that is actually a top tip.
That's what you gotta do, man. You gotta, especially if I'm doing any drone job in London. And then the drone lands, you know I've got an SD card in my pocket ready to swap it straight away because they ain't getting that footage, man. No way.
Some of that footage, like, especially in a place like that where it's probably a bit hairy to fly or just to do stuff, that footage is almost like...
Yeah, you can't, especially where we live in Southampton, you can't just go out the next day and get it.
No,
again,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And all the cars are rented and that, do you know what I mean? So it's, you got to be ready for a situation like that, I think. You should be prepared. Yeah, SD definitely. Card in pocket.
Lovely. I'm going to use that tip. I'm just going to get like a cheap SanDisk or something.
Yeah.
No, nice one. No, it's been really good having you today. It's been an hour and 4 minutes.
I swear.
Yeah.
That's flown by, man.
It has. If you can give one bit of advice to someone that is starting in the camera industry, whether it's photo, video, whatever, what would it be into the camera for me?
Bit of advice. Just stay true to yourself. I think make sure you have a lot of belief in yourself and keep motivation for yourself, and just try to do things that keep you interested in the actual job itself, because it can be quite a tedious thing sometimes, I think. So you really got to make sure you're always filming things which you're interested in. If you find yourself doing stuff that you're not really into, make sure you're always then doing a video of something you are into, so you keep the love in the filming or the photo editing or whatever it is you're doing. Just always try and do something on the side that you're interested in the industry. I think that helped a lot when I was starting. I would just make sure I'm always still doing free running videos as best as I can, just to to keep me motivated.
Definitely, I'd second that. I've always tried and have a passion project in my mind, so
I don't have time for any of that now.
Well, yeah, there you go. It's nice to think about it.
Yeah, make sure you're doing it, man.
You don't want that hobby to turn into the hated work that you've left to go and do.
Exactly, yeah.
There you go. No, brilliant. Cheers for your time today, Jed.
No, it's been a pleasure,
It's been a pleasure,
man.
Likewise. And see you guys later.